All right, Double Take Sports Talk here. Darren Watts on the opposite side. Daryl.
That's right.
All
I'm here.
right, check us out on our podcast starting every new week with the NFL on Thursday. We will have what to look for in the NFL. We will also have our predictions for each game. We will also wrap up the week on Tuesday with stats and final scores for each game. Catch an episode of Double Take Sports Talk. You may just find it useful or entertaining, maybe both. Find us on these various social media websites.
Yeah, Double Take Sports Talk is, of course, on social media. We are on Twitter at DTST2414. We're on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. And we're also on YouTube. Hit that like button. Tell them there.
Just hit it. Hit
Yeah,
that like button.
hit it.
Just
Hit it
hit it.
good, too. Just hit it.
You don't even have to listen to it. Just hit
That's right. That's right.
it.
Yeah, and we also got Blog Talk feature critical thinking and analysis. You can check that out at doubleTakeSportsTalk.blogspot.com.
There it is. Darren here. Left side of me, Daryl.
That's right.
Catch our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday with the NFL Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.
Coming up on Double Take Sports Talk 5 Good Minutes with the Watch Brothers, we will have your recap of this past week in the NFL with final scores and stats from each game. We will also have your 7 stats of the game and what stood out to us. Our final thoughts, that's next on Double Take Sports Talk. This is it. Double Take Sports Talk 5 Good Minutes with the Watch Brothers. Welcome to the show. Darren Watts here. On the other side of me via Skype. Say hello to Daryl Watts today.
Yep, I'm here. Welcome to the show. This is it. This is it.
This is it. We are here again. We have the end of the week stats and final scores, wrapping up the end of the week. We'll have your 7 stats of the game and our final thoughts of this week. What stood out to us? Ready to do it?
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
All right, time to take a look at the scores and stats from the Saturdays and Sundays games. Here we go. We're gonna kick this one off with the Thursday night game. The New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles pulled out that win 24-19. Eli Manning was 38 for 63, 356 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Carson Wentz was 13 for 24, 152 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. On the Green Bay, when they took on the Minnesota Vikings, Packers dominated that game 38-25. Sam Bradford was 34 for 50, 382 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 28 for 38, 347 yards, and 4 touchdowns. On the Jacksonville, when they played the AFC South divisional rivals, Tennessee Titans, the Jaguars pulled out that win 38-17. Matt Castle was 13 for 24, 124 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Marcus Mariota, who got hurt in the game, was 8 for 20 for 99 yards and a touchdown. Blake Bortles was 26 for 38, 325 yards and a touchdown. On the New England, when the Patriots took on the Jets and single-handedly dominated them 41-3. Ryan Fitzpatrick was 8 for 21, 136 yards and 2 interceptions. Bryce Petty was 0 for 3 with an interception. Tom Brady, 17 for 27, 214 yards and 3 touchdowns. On to Cleveland when they took on the San Diego Chargers. The Cleveland Browns got their first win of the season, defeating San Diego Chargers 20-17. Philip Rivers was 23 for 46, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Robert Griffin III, 17 for 25, 164 yards. Isaiah Crowell with 2 rushing touchdowns that game. On to Chicago, where the Bears took on the Redskins. The Redskins won that game 41-21. Kirk Cousins was 18 for 29, 270 yards, a touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Matt Barkley, 24 for 40, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Excuse me. On to Carolina, where the Panthers took on the Falcons. Falcons pulled out that win 33-16. Matt Ryan was 27 for 33, 277 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cam Newton was 18 for 43, 198 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. On the Buffalo, when they took on the hot-handed Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins pulled out that win in overtime, 34-31. Matt Moore was 16 for 30, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Tyrod Taylor, 26 for 39, 329 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jay Ajayi had 32 carries for 206 yards and a touchdown, and LaShawn McCoy had 24 carries for 128 yards and a touchdown.
Okay, continuing with Week 16 action, we continue to go down to Oakland as the Indianapolis Colts faced off against the Oakland Raiders. Oakland wins this game 33-25. Andrew Luck, 19 for 29, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Derek Carr, 20 for 30, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This was before he got injured. San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. The Niners come up with their second win of the season. They win this game 22-21. Colin Kaepernick, 28 for 38, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Jared Goff, 11 for 24, 90 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans wins this game 31-24. Jameis Winston, 23 for 35, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Drew Brees, 23 for 34, 299 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans in Houston. Houston wins this close battle 12-10. Andy Dalton, 28 for 41, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tom Savage, 18 for 29, 176 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers wins this game 27-31. Joe Flacco, 30 for 44, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and Ben Roethlisberger, 24 for 33, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Sunday night action, Denver and Kansas City. Kansas City rolled with this win 33-10. Trevor Siemian, 17 for 43, 183 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Alex Smith, 25 for 34, 244 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. If I make a mistake on that, let me know. I didn't fix that right. And Monday night action featuring the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys roll with this win 42-21. Matthew Stafford, 26 for 46, 260 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And Dakota Prescott, 15 for 20, 212 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And to correct myself, Alex Smith was 25 for 36. Yes, he was 25 for 36. Just want to make sure I correct myself. Then when your Week 16 final scores and stats in the NFL.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a look at some stats from the holiday weekend. Hope everybody enjoyed that holiday and the Christmas. It was pretty good games going on out there. So now we're going to go ahead and start off with some stats. We're going to kick this one off with the New England Patriots. They defeated the New York Jets, were dominated them 41-3 to improve on 13-2 on the season. The Patriots have 6 seasons with at least 13 victories in franchise history, tying the Denver Broncos for the second most 13-plus win seasons in NFL history. The San Francisco 49ers with 9 are the only franchise with more 13-win seasons. Incredible. Staying with the Patriots, head coach Bill Belichick recorded his 200th career regular season victory with New England, becoming the 5th head coach in NFL history to reach 200 regular season wins with the franchise. Joining Pro Football Hall of Famers George Halas, 318 with Chicago, Don Shula, 257 with Miami, Tom Landry, 250 with Dallas, and Curly Lambeau with 209 with Green Bay. To the Atlanta Falcons, quarterback Matt Ryan passed for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns for a 121.8 passer rating in the Falcons' 33-16 victory at Carolina. Ryan connected on 2 touchdown passes to tight ends Joshua Perkins and DJ Talavea. I believe it is. I apologize. That was wrong. The first career TD catch for each player, and has thrown a touchdown pass to 13 different players this season, the most in single season in NFL history. Staying within that game to the Carolina Panthers, tight end Greg Olsen had 6 catches for 59 yards against Atlanta. Olsen, who has 1,051 receiving yards this season, is the first tight end in NFL history to record 3 consecutive seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards. On to the Miami Dolphins. Running back Jay Ajayi rushed for 206 yards, including 75 yards on the team's game-winning drive in overtime and 1 touchdown in the Dolphins' 34-31 overtime victory at Buffalo. Ajayi, who rushed for 204 yards in Week 6 versus Pittsburgh and 214 yards in Week 7 versus the Bills, is the 4th player in NFL history to record 3 games with at least 200 rushing yards in a single season, joining Pro Football Hall of Famers Earl Campbell with 4 in 1980 and O.J. Simpson with 3 in 1973 and Tiki Barber with 3 in 2005. Ajayi has 420 rushing yards, in 2 games against Buffalo this season, the 4th highest rushing total against one team in a single season, trailing Jamal Lewis 500 versus Cleveland in 2003, Simpson 469 versus New England in 73, and LaDainian Tomlinson 430 versus Oakland in 2003. Keep that up. They might just win a championship. They could actually go deeper to the playoffs. Not saying championship wise, but they could go deeper to the playoffs, possibly a championship if they keep up this kind of dominance with Jay Ajayi. On to Arizona Cardinals. Running back David Johnson had 136 scrimmage yards, 95 rushing, 41 receiving, and 3 rushing touchdowns in the Cardinals' 34-31 win at Seattle. Johnson has scored multiple touchdowns in 11 career games, tying Pro Football Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson and Edgerrin James for most such games in the player's first 2 seasons in NFL history. With the 136 scrimmage yards in the win, Johnson joined Pro Football Hall of Famer Barry Sanders with 15 as the only players in NFL history to record 15 consecutive games with at least 100 scrimmage yards in a single season. He also extended his NFL record streak of consecutive games with 100-plus scrimmage yards to start a season to 15 games. Johnson has 1,233 rushing yards and 841 receiving yards this season and is the 4th different player in NFL history with at least 1,200 rushing yards and 800 receiving yards in the same season, joining Pro Football Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk from 1998 to 2000, Le'Veon Bell in 2014, and Steven Jackson in 2006. On to Green Bay, quarterback Aaron Rodgers passed for 347 yards and 4 touchdowns for a 136.6 passer rating in the Packers' 38-25 victory over Minnesota. Rodgers, who has 4,128 yards this season, has 6 career seasons with at least 4,000 passing yards, passing Pro Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre with 5 for the most in franchise history. Rodgers added 13 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown in the victory, bringing his career rushing total to 2,502 yards. Rodgers, who has 36,527 career passing yards, joins Pro Football Hall of Famers John Elway with 51,475 passing, 3,407 rushing, and Fran Tarkenton 47,003 yards and 3,674 rushing yards, and Donovan McNabb 37,276 passing yards and 3,469 rushing, as the only players in NFL history with at least 35,000 passing yards and 2,500 rushing yards in a career. Staying with the Packers, wide receiver Jordy Nelson had 9 catches for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win over Minnesota. Nelson, who has 14 receptions this season, has 3 seasons with at least 13 touchdowns catches in his career, tying Pro Football Hall of Famers Lance Alfworth, Chris Carter, and Marvin Harrison for the 4th most in NFL history. Only Pro Football Hall of Famer Jerry Rice with 8, Terrell Owens with 7, and Randy Moss with 6 has more such seasons in NFL history. Lastly but not least, Washington Redskins quarterback Kirk Cousins passed for 270 yards with 1 touchdown and rushed for 2 touchdowns in the Redskins' 41-21 win at Chicago. This season, Cousins has passed for a franchise record 4,630 yards and has 4 rushing touchdowns. He is the second player in NFL history, Aaron Rodgers in 2008-2009, to have at least 4,000 passing yards and 4 more rushing touchdowns in consecutive seasons. That is the stats from Saturday's Christmas Eve games. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And that was via NFL Communications. All right. Check us out on the social media side. Get more involved in our podcast. We're on Twitter at DTST2414. Like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at The Watch Brothers. We're on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit it. I don't care what you do. You ain't got to listen to it. Just hit it. Also, we got the blog, Future Critical Thinking and Analysis. You can check that out at doubletakesportstalk.blogspot.com.
Okay, we got the final scores and stats for Week 16, and we also have 7 stats of the game. Darrell, what stood out to you in Week 16?
Week 16, that was pretty interesting. One of the things that stood out to me in Week 16 was the Cleveland Browns. They won their first game finally, so that's congratulations to them. And the other one, unfortunately, was the Philadelphia Eagles and the way that they held down the Giants. And kind of prevented them at the time from getting a playoff spot and being eliminated, but they still ended up getting a playoff spot anyway. So,
yeah, yeah. Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. That's what stood out to me for Week 16 was Cleveland Browns winning their first game of the season, and San Francisco winning their second game of the season. So congratulations to both teams. That's what stood out to me for Week 16.
Cool, marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Okay. Ready to look at some playoff scenario pictures?
Let's see what we got on the board here.
Okay, let's take a look. We have a couple things that we wanted to take a look at here. So, of course, this is updated through Week 16. So here's how the scenarios work out to this point. The only spot that has not been determined yet, from what I understand, was who got Sunday night? Good Jesus.
Green Bay and Detroit.
Green Bay and Detroit. That is the only team that have not clinched the spot yet, and that's going to be determined on Sunday. So that is the only one that is really.
That is actually a Sunday night game. Actually, yeah.
That's a Sunday night game.
Because I thought, from my understanding, that Sunday night, I didn't think they had Sunday night games, but I think they only have them for when there are tiebreakers, like as of this one.
Yeah. So, or if it was, a situation where a team actually gets into the playoffs, or there's a team that really don't have that chance, but the other team has a chance. But yeah, that's how that also works out. So of course, Green Bay and Detroit are the only teams that have not clinched a spot yet and have not clinched a division yet. So that's going to be battled out on Sunday. But everything else is pretty much determined. So, in the NFC, Dallas has clinched the NFC East and home field advantage, of course, throughout the playoffs, NFC playoffs, due to the Giants losing Thursday night in Philadelphia. Now, the Falcons, they locked up the NFC South with their win against the Panthers, combined with Tampa Bay's loss when at New Orleans. The Giants, of course, lost on Thursday night at Philadelphia. They clinched when Tampa Bay lost. That's what I'm saying.
Tampa Bay brought up a lot of help for a lot of teams to get into the playoffs.
Yes, they did. Marvelous stuff. But hey, that's the world of drama, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, of course, the Lions, they have not secured a win yet. They lost to Dallas. So they got a chance on Sunday night to secure a playoff berth if they win. So that's going to be another
icebreaker for
So
the Lions.
let's suppose to say that Green Bay loses. Who clinches the spot?
It looks like it doesn't say, but it looks like if that is the case, the Packers has the fourth seed, the Lions has the sixth seed. So I'm going to assume that it's going to be the flip flop.
That the Packers would get the
Wait a minute,
sixth
that's the
seed?
division, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So that would mean that the Lions will go down to the sixth seed, and the
Well, they
no,
already
they
the
already
sixth
are
seed.
the sixth seed.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, I'm getting confused. If the Packers happen to win, they will stay at the fourth seed,
And the
and the
Lions
Lions
will
pretty much stay at the
sixth
sixth seed.
seed. So they
Yeah,
would. So they pretty much in the playoffs regardless. They just have to determine what seed they're going to be after Sunday night.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So that's how that looks.
So
If
who
wrong, we'll
got the
apologize.
NFC North title?
Who's the NFC North? Is that New York Giants scenario?
Nope. That's Detroit, Green Bay,
Nobody. This is what
Minnesota.
determines. This is
Oh,
what
this is what
determines.
determines their.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. This determines the playoff spot and
And the
the
division.
division.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
So this is a pretty big game.
yes, it is a very
That's what I'm
big
saying. It's
game.
going to be an icebreaker for the Lions.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that works.
hmm
Okay. Um. Of course, Seattle got their clinched. The Cowboys got theirs clinched. So yes, we're good with that. Okay. Now on to the AFC. The Raiders. They defeated the Colts. So they have already secured a playoff spot at that point anyway. They just got the first round bye after they when they defeated Denver last week.
And they
So
officially knocked the Colts out of
and
the
they
playoffs.
and they officially knocked them out, and then they won Sunday night against the Broncos, so they got their spot now. They got the AFC West title. Ooh, excuse me, sorry, wrong one. Um, the Houston Texans got the AFC South with their victory. So
And the Colts
didn't matter if
lost.
the Colts, yeah, didn't matter if the Colts lost or not. The Houston Texans won. They got their spot, so they got the AFC South.
Well, no, the Colts would have had to win. They still wouldn't have clinched it officially until the Colts lost, which they did.
Well, in my personal opinion, I didn't think the Colts was going to get a spot anyway.
And I didn't think so either, but that's how they determine it.
Yeah, I know that's how they determined it, but that's just me and my personal opinion. I just threw that out there. Um, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they clinched the AFC North after they defeated the Baltimore Ravens. And is the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs? Nope, they got knocked out. So they are eliminated from playoff contention. And of course, the Kansas City Chiefs, they got their spot, but they did not clinch the AFC West. They just clinched the fifth seed due to Pittsburgh winning. So, big ups to them. Well, thank you, Pittsburgh, for helping Kansas City clinch the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the big deal. The Miami Dolphins. Denver lost. That got them a spot when they won in overtime against the Bills. That is big.
It is.
This is their first. This is their first playoff clincher since what? 2008.
Yep. Been almost
That's
10 years.
In almost 10 years, they have clinched their first playoff berth since 2008.
Technically, it's
So,
been 8 years.
It's been technically 8 years. And of course, the New England Patriots clinched theirs. They got the AFC East and they got the home field advantage throughout the whole entire AFC playoffs. So that is the playoff picture. So take a quick swing real quick. There it is.
There you have the playoff pictures. NFL. That was via CBSSports.com.
Yes, that was via CBSSports.com/NFL.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at our current record standing, Daryl. When
Yeah.
you're getting ready.
Yes, sir. I got you. Got you covered, man. Here we go.
This is what
Here
it
we
looks like
go.
up until this point. Last week it didn't show up on my end, so I had to have Daryl do this in honors this time. We both finished with a record of 11-5 this week, totaling out the records of 143 and 95 for Daryl and 157 and 83 for me. Daryl is getting there, but he has one final week to try to see what he can do. I honestly do not think he can come back and win. He could probably come back. He could come back and win throughout the playoffs, maybe, but probably not through this season because we got one game left this season. I mean, 1 week left in this season. So I told him that he had to pretty much be perfect to, keep up.
I really would be. The only way that you would have to lose.
I would have to lose more
all
games.
Your games. You have to lose all your games because that's what 157 and 40, 143. That's 14 games or 16. 14.
14.
And see, and that's what 16 games. Mm-hmm. See, you would have to pretty much go under 500 in order for
you to win.
Mm-hmm. And that's not happening.
We don't know that just yet. We don't know that just yet. I mean, me going
11-5. Ain't no way in the world that you're going to win just only 2 games this week. It's not happening.
I mean, although I haven't been under 500 yet this season, it's just that the last week of the season, you never know. It's unpredictable. Players may play, players may not play. You just don't know at that point. Week 17 and week 1 are the 2 hardest weeks to predict in the NFL. They are the hardest.
Of course. Yeah. Yep, that sounds about right. So you get it in, get a swig, take a look at it. This is us. This is what we do. We enjoy this.
Yep, there you have it. That is our record thus far how with the NFL and predicting games. Don't look too bad. There it is. Daryl, anything else?
No, man.
All right, let's wrap this up. Double Take Sports Talk. Thank you for listening to the show. Darren here. They're on the other side of us.
Yep.
Catch our episodes on YouTube. Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.